Look at this, completely empty. Just bare concrete, a metal railing, and zero life. This was my boring apartment balcony every single day. Grey, lifeless. The kind of space that makes you close the blinds and pretend it doesn't exist. And now, look at this explosion of color. Pots overflowing with fresh, blooming flowers in every shade you can imagine. Bright pinks, sunny yellows, deep purples, soft whites, fiery oranges, cascading waterfalls of blooms. A real flower paradise right outside my door. And I did the entire transformation using only $35 and almost nothing but recycled stuff. If you live in an apartment with a tiny balcony, and you've ever looked out there thinking, this space is completely useless, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through every single step. The exact materials I hunted down for free and for pennies, how I built the vertical systems that made the tiny space feel huge, the soil mixes that actually work in containers under full sun, the heat-tolerant flowers that thrived when everything else would have fried, the mistakes that almost ruined everything, and the one recycled item that became the absolute star of the whole garden. By the end, you'll have the complete shopping list, the exact timeline, and the confidence to do this yourself. Stay with me all the way to the end, because the shopping list alone is worth watching for. Let's start from the very beginning, with this completely empty, lifeless balcony. I live in a completely standard apartment building. No yard, no backyard, no little patch of dirt. Just a small balcony that gets blasted by hot afternoon sun and strong wind almost every day. For months, actually for over a year, it was nothing but bare concrete and a couple of sad plastic chairs that I barely used. Every morning, I would open the sliding door, look out, and feel this little wave of disappointment. I wanted flowers. Real, colourful, blooming flowers that would make me smile the second I stepped outside. I wanted that feeling of walking into a little oasis. But I also had a very strict budget. $35 total. Not $35 just for plants. $35 for everything. Every pot, every bag of soil, every plant, every tool, the entire transformation from ugly to paradise. So, I went on a mission. First stop, the recycling area behind my building and a few thrift stores nearby. I spent an entire Saturday morning hunting, and I got lucky. I found an old wooden pallet that someone had thrown out. It was dirty, a little broken on one corner, covered in dust, but the wood was still solid and the structure was good. I also grabbed 3 sturdy plastic crates that had held fruit at some point, a couple of large cracked plastic storage bins that still held water, and 2 old hanging baskets someone had left right by the dumpster. Total cost so far, $0. Pure free recycled junk. Then I hit the Dollar Tree and one other local dollar store. This is where the $35 mostly went. I bought a bunch of cheap plastic pots in different sizes. Small ones for the vertical pockets, medium ones for the shelves, and a few larger ones for the floor. I grabbed a few bags of basic potting soil that I planned to mix later. Some slow-release fertilizer granules, a bottle of liquid plant food, a small plastic watering can, a cheap hand trowel, a pack of zinnia seeds, and several trays of starter plants that were already on clearance because they looked a little stressed. I also picked up a roll of garden twine and a few packs of S-hooks. When I got home and added every single receipt together, I was at $34.70-something. I had just enough left for one more little tray of trailing petunias. That was my entire haul. $35 and a big pile of recycled and dollar store junk sitting on my living room floor. Now came the building part, and this is where the magic of small space gardening really starts. The biggest challenge with any apartment balcony is that you have almost no floor space. You have to go vertical, or you will never get that lush, overflowing paradise look. So, I took that old wooden pallet, carried it up to the balcony, and cleaned it thoroughly with soap, water, and a scrub brush. I let it dry completely in the full sun for a whole day, so any mold or dirt was gone. Then I stood it upright against the railing and secured it tightly, using leftover screws I already had and a bunch of heavy-duty zip ties. It was solid, Next, I attached the 3 plastic crates to the face of the pallet at different heights, creating little shelves and planting pockets. The 2 large cracked storage bins became my main floor planters after I drilled plenty of drainage holes in the bottom with a cheap drill bit. The hanging baskets went directly on the railing with the S-hooks. In one single afternoon, I had a full multi-level vertical system that cost me almost nothing extra. Did it look rough and a little junky at first? Yes, absolutely. The wood was weathered, the plastic was mismatched, and nothing matched. But I kept telling myself, once the flowers fill in and cascade, nobody will even notice the recycled materials underneath. Next came the soil and the plants, the part that actually decides whether this becomes a paradise or a sad collection of dead sticks. Container soil has to do 2 opposite things at the same time. It has to drain fast enough so roots don't rot in the heat, but it still has to hold enough moisture so you're not watering 3 times a day. I mixed the cheap potting soil with some coconut coir I already had from a previous project and a generous handful of perlite for drainage. For the 2 big floor planters, I mixed in a little extra homemade compost from my kitchen scraps that I had been saving in a small bin. Nothing fancy. No expensive bagged mixes. Just basic, well-draining, living soil. For the plants themselves, I was ruthless. I only chose heat-tolerant varieties that are known to thrive in full sun, wind, and containers across most of the United States. No delicate shade plants. No high-maintenance prima donnas that would wilt the second the temperature hit 85 degrees. Here's exactly what I planted and why each one earned its spot. Wave petunias and trailing calabricoa, also called million bells, for those long, cascading waterfalls of color that spill over the edges and cover ugly containers. Zonal geraniums for big, bold, round flower heads that just keep coming all season long and look expensive, even when they come from a dollar store tray. French and African marigolds for that bright orange and yellow punch, plus natural pest resistance that helps protect the other plants. Lantana for non-stop clusters of blooms in multiple colors and to attract butterflies and bees. And zinnias started from seed for height, structure, and those crazy, intense colors that look like little fireworks exploding above everything else. I planted everything much tighter than the little tags recommend because I wanted that full, overflowing, I can't even see the pots anymore. Paradise look as fast as possible. I watered everything deeply right after planting until water ran freely out the drainage holes. And then I set up the simplest care schedule I could actually stick to as a busy person. Water only when the top inch of soil feels dry to the touch. Feed every 2 weeks with the liquid fertilizer diluted to half strength so I don't burn the roots. And deadhead the spent blooms every few days while I'm out there with my coffee to keep new flowers coming non-stop. For the first 2 weeks, everything looked promising. New green growth pushed out. A few early buds appeared on the geraniums and lantana. I was so excited. I checked the balcony 3 times a day. I took photos. I texted friends. I thought I had this completely under control. Then the problems started, and they hit hard. Around day 18, right when the afternoon sun was at its most brutal, 2 of the cheap plastic pots cracked clean open from the heat and UV. Soil started spilling out onto the balcony floor every time I watered. At the exact same time, I made the classic beginner mistake. I overwatered a couple of the geraniums because I was terrified they would dry out and die in the heat. The leaves turned yellow, then some dropped completely. The plants looked sad and stressed. I stood there staring at the mess and almost panicked. I thought the whole $35 experiment was about to fail right in front of me. I could already hear the little voice saying, "See, you can't grow anything nice on a balcony." Here's exactly what I did to fix it, and this part is important if you try this yourself. I carefully transplanted the plants from the crack pots into the larger recycled storage bins that still had room. I let the overwatered geraniums dry out completely for 3 full days, no water at all, and I stopped fertilizing them until they showed new healthy growth. Most importantly, I started checking the soil with my finger every single morning instead of watering on a fixed schedule. That one simple habit change saved those plants. Within a week, they bounced back and started pushing new buds. And then the true star of the entire garden revealed itself. Remember that old wooden pallet I almost left behind the building? After about 3 weeks, the trailing petunias and the calibrachoa completely covered it. The weathered wood disappeared under a thick, living waterfall of flowers. It became the tallest, most dramatic, most beautiful feature on the entire balcony. People walking by on the sidewalk below started stopping and looking up. Neighbors texted me asking what I did. That one free recycled item that cost me nothing and looked ugly as sin at the beginning became the absolute heart and soul of the paradise. Everything else looked good, but the living flower wall made from a discarded pallet was pure magic. That was the moment I knew this was going to work. By day 30, the first real big flush of blooms hit all at once. The marigolds exploded into bright orange and yellow pom-poms. The geraniums pushed out huge, perfect flower heads. The lantana started its famous non-stop show of multicolored clusters. The zinnias I had started from seed were already knee-high and covered in buds. The balcony finally felt alive. It no longer looked like a construction project. It looked like a garden. I kept the exact same, simple care routine. Watered deeply, but much less often once the plants were established. Feed lightly every 2 weeks. Deadhead every few days while I drank my morning coffee. Rotate any pots that were getting too much wind on one side. And mostly, I just watched and enjoyed. Now I want you to picture day 60 with me. Really picture it. Close your eyes for a second if you can. I open the sliding door first thing in the morning with my coffee mug in hand. The entire balcony is a living wall of color. Flowers cascading down the palette like a thick, moving curtain of pink and purple. Every single pot is overflowing so heavily that you can barely see the containers underneath. The hanging baskets are dripping with blooms that sway gently in the breeze. Pinks, reds, sunny yellows, deep purples, bright oranges, soft whites, every shade you can think of, all mixed together like a painting. Bees and butterflies are moving calmly from flower to flower. The warm air smells sweet and floral, like pure summer. I sit down on my little chair, take a slow sip of coffee, close my eyes for a moment, and just breathe. This used to be empty grey concrete that made me feel a little sad every time I looked at it. Now it's my personal flower paradise, a place I actually look forward to being in every single day, a tiny oasis that belongs completely to me. I spent $35. I used mostly free recycled materials. And in 60 days, I created a space that makes me genuinely happy every single day. Now, the part so many of you have been waiting for, the exact shopping list and full cost breakdown, so you can do this exact makeover yourself without guessing. Here's what I actually used, divided into free, recycled, and purchased. Recycled and completely free. 1 wooden pallet found behind the building, 3 plastic crates, 2 large plastic storage bins, 2 hanging baskets, twine, screws, and zip ties I already owned. Purchased at Dollar Tree and the dollar store, total $35. Assorted plastic pots in different sizes, 10 pots, $12.50. Bags of potting soil, 5 bags, $6.25. Starter plants and seeds wave petunias, zonal geraniums, marigolds, lantana, calibrachoa, zinnias, $10. Liquid fertilizer and slow-release granules, $3.75. Small watering can and hand trowel, $2.50. Grand total spent, exactly $35. Zero. If you already have some pots, soil, or a watering can, you can easily do this for even less. A few final hard-earned tips so your balcony doesn't turn into a sad, half-dead mess like mine almost did. Write these down if you need to. Always drill drainage holes in every single container. No exceptions. Roots hate sitting in water, especially when the afternoon sun is cooking the pots. I use a cheap drill bit and make at least 4 or 5 holes in the bottom of every bin and pot. Choose only heat-tolerant plants if your balcony gets more than 6 hours of direct sun. The varieties I listed Wave petunias, zonal geraniums, marigolds, lantana, calibrachoa, and zinnias will handle real heat and wind. Don't waste money on plants that want cool shade if you don't have it. Water based on what the soil feels like, not on the calendar and not on fear. Stick your finger in up to the first knuckle. If it feels dry, water deeply. If it still feels moist, walk away. That one habit will save more plants than any fancy fertilizer. Go vertical as hard as you can. It's the only real way to get that lush, overflowing paradise look when you have almost no floor space. One good pallet, or a few stacked crates, can double or triple your growing area. And please don't be afraid of ugly recycled materials at the beginning. The flowers will cover almost everything within a few weeks if you plant densely and care for them. What looks junky on day 1 becomes invisible under blooms by day 40. I almost gave up when those cheap pots cracked and the leaves started yellowing. I'm so glad I didn't walk away. Because now every single morning I step out into this colourful, living oasis that costs me almost nothing to keep going. It has completely changed how I feel about living in an apartment. If you decide to try this, do one important thing for me. Take a clear before photo of your empty balcony right now. Then set a reminder for 60 days from today and take the after photo in the exact same spot. You're going to be shocked at what $35, some free recycled junk, and a little patience can actually do. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If this video helped you or gave you even a little bit of hope for your own small space, please give it a like so more apartment gardeners can find it. Drop a comment below and tell me what flowers you're dreaming of growing on your balcony. Or tell me about your own budget makeover. And if you want the full written plant list, care schedule, and shopping list, I've put everything neatly in the description for you. Now go turn that boring, empty balcony into your own flower paradise.